Now, before I begin this video, I'd like to say an acknowledgement here that I'd like to thank the Chadthepastoralist for the inspiration for this video. He has a post on his Instagram regarding reincarnation, especially in Norse sources, which he goes into a little detail about that. So I want to thank him for the inspiration for this video. Anyway, moving right on. Did Germanic peoples believe in reincarnation? Yes, they did. We have in Old Norse Enderborin and Aftirborin. Forgive me for my bad Old Norse pronunciation. But if we were to calc these into Old English, they would be Endeboren and Aftboren. So literally end-born, again born. So here are a few Norse sources that actually mention reincarnation. So we have the poem of Helgi Hjorvardsson, the second poem of Helgi Hundingsbani, and the saga of Olaf the Holy Flateyjarbók. Forgive me for my bad Old Norse pronunciation. Gylfaginning. And this one, it does hint towards reincarnation because it speaks of the spirit of the soul as eternal, and it's only the body that perishes. So that's really interesting of itself. However, I do want to recommend an article that goes into more detail about this. Which will be in the link in the description below. And it says here, it was believed in the old days that people were reincarnated, although this is called old wives' tales. This could be Abrahamic propaganda because reincarnation is a fact. It's part of reality. It explains a lot of things, scenarios and people find themselves in. Why are people born beautiful, poor, rich, able, disabled, and so on and so forth. Moving on. What about Old English, right? So we have from the Alfric homilies dating back to the 10th century, Buton Yehwa Bel Ed Kenned of Watere and of Tham Halium Gaste, unless anyone be born again of water and the Holy Ghost. So we have this interesting word here, Ye Ed Kenned. So this is translated here as born again, which is really interesting of itself. And we have another attestation of it. It meaning regenerated, which is interesting of itself. So without further ado, Se oder erkennednus is gaslik thon away beoth erkennede on tham halian fulluchte. The second birth is ghostly, while we are regenerated at the holy baptism. And again, this is from Alfric's homilies from 10th century, translated by Benjamin Thorpe. So that's really interesting of itself. So it's very similar to the Old Norse word where enderbori means, reborn as well as regenerated. So it's kind of like the same meaning, but of course the word is different. Moving on. So we have another example here. Thurthon ylkan his yekorenan beoth ye edkennede ontam halium fulluchte. Through the same, his chosen will be born again in holy baptism. So again, we have this born again translation, which is really interesting of itself. But to go deeper into this word itself, so we have ye ed kennan, This ye, this ge prefix, it means a number of things. It could be together, and it could also mean an intensifier or simply no meaning, which is really interesting of itself. You could see it on past participles, which is interesting of itself. But then we have ed, which means again or renew. And then we have our verb, which is kennan. And this means a bunch of things in Old English. This means to conceive, to beget. So literally this would be like saying again conceive, again beget, or what have you. So, or begotten as in we are again begotten, or what have you. So it's really interesting manifestation, if you will, of reincarnation through this verb, if you will. So if you want your verb for reincarnation, this would be one of them. As an addition, I thought it'd be nice to add an incarnation as well. So we have here plenty of words for this. We have fleshlikness, which means fleshiness, literally, but this also doesn't mean incarnation, or inlikhamung. So this is literally embodying, or if I were to really go really hyper literal, so it'd be like in, then body, because lik means body or corpse, if you will, and then you have hamung, which is literally covering. So if you will, embodying. Then we have menneskness, which means humanity, but in the context of a homily, it means incarnation, or if you will, humanity. So, but more likely, literally, this means humanity. So, and then we have hiderkume, which means hither arrival. So yeah, in this context, you could, in the context of a homily, you could argue that this does mean incarnation. So, but if I wanted to make it reincarnation, I would have to put a prefix to either eft or ed for to mean again or renew or what have you. So. As well, I just want to add as well, incarnate. As an adjective, we have fleshamod, which means literally flesh covered, and then we have yelikhamod, again, body covered. I only have two, but there are many more there are variations of these out there tested in Old English. So I just thought I'd share that just to show how nuanced the language could be. So moving right on. So we have a forthfaran. This literally means to fare forth, to go forth, but a lot of times in Old English it means to die. So this idea of like transmigration is definitely hinted at here. So, which is really interesting of itself. So, finally, I'd like to add a Old English kenning, which I find really cool. We have sawalhus, which is literally soul house, and this is a kenning. It's just like a poetic compound word, and this means body. So this would, a word like this would indeed hint at transmigration of the soul, reincarnation in one way or another. Now, if you really want to know what reincarnation is, as opposed to what it is not samsara and have you, a karma, and all these sort of things, I would highly recommend and invite you all to check out the YouTube channel Dharma Nation. It is headed by Sri Dharma Pravartika Acharya, who's a bona fide, authentic guru, an authentic acharya, who's been practicing the Vedic tradition for over 40 years. He's non-Indian, of Italian and Spanish descent. He is the real thing. I kid you not. He is the real thing. Please, if you want to know the truth behind reincarnation, karma, samsara, and all these things, please check out Dharma Nation. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and be sure to subscribe if you're new. And if you really like the channel, please become a channel member. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.